There we are. It says we're live. Let me get Rumble
Okay,
started.
good afternoon, everybody. It's Friday. It's supposed to be No Fight Friday, but since Angie and I were arguing yesterday, we decided it was going to be Fight Friday, and everything's free game. So Baby JJ
Little
starting
man's
us
already
off.
taken up on that.
Yeah, Baby JJ starting us off. You guys want to hear him scream the whole time? This is what we're dealing with. Oh, it's all so bad. He's already out of the swaddle. And Angie said to duct tape him. Okay, we got a Bubba. Oh, Bubba's going down. Woo!
How about shove the bottle in his mouth and then
that.
he can kind of hold it while you're swaddling his punk butt.
Well, he's not quite ready yet to be holding stuff. His whole leg's out. And he's got it bent on my leg. The whole leg is out. He's like, bitch.
Aww.
He's like, bitch.
Watch this.
Watch this. So we had a long discussion with his mother. And when we get back from vacation, well, Nini's turning into Super Nanny. And it's going to be ugly. But one way or another, this child
I'm
will
sure
learn.
he'll be fine.
Yeah, one way or another, this child's going to learn who's the boss applesauce. And it's not him. So, but he's had my number.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's had my number pegged, as you know. So, with it being Friday, just in case anybody missed yesterday, I strongly suggest you go and listen to part 1 and part 2, particularly at the end of part 1 and the beginning of part 2. You will hear.
Led to a great conversation.
It did.
Really
Yeah,
thought-provoking conversation.
it did. And part 1 ended up with me walking off the air, and then Crazy B. I walked off because I didn't want to say anything that I would regret or that would get us permanently banned. But we just didn't, and we talked prior to
We
coming
needed a
back.
moment.
Yeah, we just had a moment, and we didn't understand each other's. Well, we did, but we didn't. So, but we resolved it, and it led into a really good conversation. So, if you missed it, well, too bad, so sad, but go back and listen to it because
It's still recorded. You can go watch it.
It's very entertaining. So, all right, my man's drifting off to Wonderland. So, nobody's in the house yet?
Yay! I can't tell. I'm still posting out links.
Gotcha. So,
all right, I'm back. It appears we have 2 people, one from YouTube and one from Rumble.
okay. It would be nice if you would come on and identify yourself or give us a like at least.
Oh.
You know,
that would be nice, but
yeah, the big thing is we really need the like. It really helps with the algorithm.
The follows help.
Right? They're extremely beneficial for getting us out from underwater. The YouTube algorithm really suppresses, especially conservatives, and particularly the topics that we talk about.
Oh, yeah. Because we're just, so non-controversial.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Okay. Here.
No, but the follows help a lot, too, because the more people following us, the more likely we can at least get a couple cents from every ad they show on our videos. So, that's an option, too.
Right. Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
All right. It's been a crazy week.
Yes, it has.
Today's Thursday, right?
Today's what?
What day is today?
Friday.
Oh, it's Friday. Shoot.
Did you not hear anything I said in the beginning?
I was busy focusing on getting the link sent out. I wasn't really fully paying attention. Oh, little
Oh,
guy. He's just like, I want to be the center of attention. Put a camera on me.
no, he's tired. He fights. He's like his brother. They don't want to sleep. You know what I mean? He only slept for 45 minutes this morning. He should technically be asleep for 2 hours. We might end up having to play crazy. Here. Stop. 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 Stop.
I want
Uh,
to design a pacifier that looks like duct tape.
there you go. Oh. Oh.
Doesn't have to function like duct tape, but look like it.
There you go. I say Velcro. Okay. I thought you.
Yeah, Velcro won't harm the skin per se, but yeah, we could have a textured. We could have textured pacifiers.
Oh. Ah, ah, ah,
Oh, he is like, I
oh
am not
God.
having this today.
What
Good
is the
luck.
problem? What? Hi. Whoa. What? What? Hi. Hello. Hi. What are you doing squawking? Huh? What? Whoa. Oh. What are you doing? Hi. Ah. Oh, it's so bad. Life is just so difficult, isn't it? Huh? Huh? Hi.
Okay, yep, the chat works again. That's good.
Cool. Oh, we
So
got a
we
big
have
pig out
Rumble
there.
chat back working.
Yeah. Say da 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 da.
Ah, I see a blue rose.
Hey,
She
Blue.
popped in like literally a second before I
Say
sent the hello.
say there's Aunt Blue is
Little
in the house.
JJ is absolutely having a fit today.
Yeah. Say there's Aunt Blue. Say he's been screaming the whole time. Huh? Say da 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 da.
Of course. That's the
Hi.
only thing that makes sense.
Say mama 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 mama. Say Jacob Jacob Jacob. Say Pappy Pappy Pappy. Say Nene, where are you? Nene, where are you? And then JJ, JJ, JJ.
You watch his first words are going to be something like a cuss word.
Uh huh. Of course. Ah, what do you have to say about politics today? What,
Listening to us every day.
what do you think we should do with Pam Bondi? Do you think we should fire her? What do you say? Yes? Should we fire her if she didn't give the Epstein list up? What do you say? Really?
I still think that there's some major intel that would destroy our allies with like other nations that we desperately need right now.
Oh, so you
I
think
think that's the
foreign?
only
You
reason it
think there
has
are
not been
foreign?
released.
Yeah, you think there's foreign people on there then, huh?
I think there's a lot of people from a lot of places and, and a lot of our own politicians that are integral to communicating with some of these countries. And our government is willing to sweep it under the rug just to keep the world peace.
Ah, I say
Because trying to start over negotiations with a country with someone who is not a good person, all because of that, I don't see them saying, "Oh, you know what? Let's get a new negotiator for Russia if that's the case." Okay? I'm not saying it's him, but if it's the case,
right.
you know,
Well,
it might be not okay.
that
It
will
would be very
she?
hard to restart negotiations with a stranger
Well, then I don't know why they made the promises they did, from Trump to Pam
because
Bondi.
they probably didn't know when they got into this. They may have started with
Uh,
the
I
intentions,
don't know. You know
but
the one. Here's the one
shit
that I know
changes.
that. Here's the one that I know that knew, guaranteed. And that's Bongino. If you listened to anything that he had to say, he knew.
I did. And
He
he didn't seem happy about having to give that answer.
no. And the thing is one, I was, to be honest, I was surprised he took the job as the assistant director of the FBI. I know he did it probably because he thought he could help, but he really, his
Yeah.
talent was in the Secret Service, not in the
Mhm.
FBI part. Although he knew a lot about it. There's no denying
They
that.
go hand in hand for a lot of things.
Exactly.
They have to work together.
He would have been better off staying with his podcast and being able to, I think, get the information out the way he was versus him going in and them suppressing his voice. Because you really haven't heard much from him. I'm disappointed in
Oh,
Cat.
yeah, no, here's the thing. His podcast is gonna take a hit. If he tries to go back, there's going to be a massive backlash on a lot of this.
You think?
Blue Rose says, rumor is he wants to resign. Well, he went in, he tried to do his job.
Yeah.
He did technically his job
Mm-hmm.
of getting to the bottom of it. Well, at the bottom of it is major national security. That's the only thing I can think of. That is the only thing I can come up with is major national security. I don't think any of them went in assuming it was that deep.
I think
I
that.
think every single one of them went in there thinking it was so much simpler.
Uh, I think Bongino knew. He had such connections to the FBI, to the Secret Service, to police, to he had so many resources. I'm pretty sure he knew. I think he kind of alluded to things during his podcast. And I didn't even listen to him every
Hmm.
day. And and this
Yeah,
is
but when you go and talk a big game about getting to the bottom of it, even Trump was like,
that's what I'm saying.
we're going to
What?
release it all. And
Yeah,
then all of a sudden, oh shit,
right.
there's nothing. Oh, we can't release. And again, like this chick is in prison for the rest of her life
Yeah, but
for
if there's
helping traffic children to nobody.
right, and that's the thing. If there's no list, why is she in jail?
I that video you sent me about it, I do have that edited and ready to go.
Okay.
Um, so that is on the to-do list. Probably next week we can definitely hit that. It's fully
Oh,
there was no point cutting anything out except the uh, today's episode or in the
right,
coming
right.
up thing
Yeah,
that he does in the beginning
right,
that's like 4 minutes long. It
right,
basically summarizes the entire episode.
right.
Yeah, I cut that out and left the rest. It's like 18 minutes long
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, why don't
because
we
there
get
was how do you cut any of that out?
right, right. Uh, what's Blue say under that? It's the most what?
It's the
Dumbest.
most dumbest thing to lie about, especially when you have all the proof.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they went in and bit off more than they could chew. That is the only thing I can come up with. I really think that's what happened.
Well,
And
it.
when it came to the Kennedy files being a nothing burger, well, no shit. They had how many years to wipe that stuff out over
Well,
the
and the
time?
funny thing is
I mean, come on.
why couldn't they have just redacted what they didn't want people to know?
Well, the problem is if you redact some, prying eyes, curious minds are going to try to take it further. So it was an all or nothing, and they chose nothing. Even though she said, "Oh, we'll redact names, maybe some explicit detail things, national security stuff." You don't mean to tell me that entire thousands of pages, thousands of videos, all were national security or
Right,
porn.
right. And
That
what
was the
about
two options: national security or porn.
Well, and the other issue I have is, what about all the underage kids?
Mhm.
That's all okay?
All the girls who've come forward
Uh,
talking about everybody else being there and everybody else doing things as well or witnessing what had happened.
exactly.
What, those people just were made up in their heads?
Right.
There's so much that does not add up, and my brain knows that the only way they could come forward and say absolutely nothing is because they have no frickin' choice but for national, literal, world, global level security.
And that's
I
unbelievable.
have a feeling it is that bad.
And that is unbelievable that it would rise to that level.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they talked about Prince Andrew. How many
Right.
other
Right.
politicians worldwide
Yeah, and
that
Prince
we don't
Andrew,
know
yeah,
about?
and Prince Andrew, they basically stripped him of everything. His duties, his money. Uh, he doesn't get to partake in
Uh-huh.
any family functions, anything with the royal family. He's pretty much ostracized. But
Yeah.
if there are actual pictures of, Clinton's being on there and Obama being on there, and supposedly Trump was on there, what, up to 4 times or something? I don't know.
Oh, if they had proof that Trump was there and doing something, Biden's administration would have at least leaked that one.
Right.
They would have found a way to have leaked it and still edited everything else out.
Hmm.
Oh, it was only Trump who ever went there with him and did this stuff. They would have done that and thrown Trump in jail for that. That if they had had proof of Trump, they would have absolutely used it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know people are mad about it, and I am too. I would have loved to have had the info, but the only thing that makes any logical sense, and I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, thinking that he worked with the agents and all that is a conspiracy." It's the only thing I can think of
Well, you
because
know
of
what?
all the
Then they
people
should
who've
have
come
come
forward
right out
over so
and
many
said that.
decades.
Then they should have come right out and said that, right? That would have that would have made them look even better.
It would have
It-
made sense, but they still won't tell us how much the FBI, Mossad, and the CIA all had in Kennedy's death.
right.
I mean,
I mean, it to be
no one's gonna flat out admit it, but there's hints at it.
right. But they could have come out. I think it would have been better if they would have said, "Look, we cannot produce this for the sake of national security." You know, I don't know if that how well that would have been
Yeah.
received. That could have been
Well,
maybe
then
more
your extreme
negatively.
conspiracy theorists would have taken over board,
Yeah,
and yeah, I could see how
yeah,
that
but
would
how many
backfire badly
conspiracy
too.
theorists are taking over now, right? How many people
Uh,
right now are saying, this is a
Most
fake?
of them are just thinking Trump's a traitor, and the other three are traitors. That's
Mhm.
what most are thinking.
Yep. And they're going to try to maybe, along with everything else, this will go with one of his impeachments if the Dems get in 2026. Because that's one of
That,
the
but I
first
mean,
that's one of their first things of business is to impeach him.
here's the other thing to think about: the MAGA group is a very strong movement.
Yes, it is.
Okay, they're knowingly dividing that and causing internal conflict. More people are going to be mad at them, yet they chose to go with that for some reason.
Right.
It had to have been freaking serious to literally take the majority of America that voted for them to now be split between we're all traitors and or that we're actually telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in the middle ground. Something serious is preventing them from coming forward with the info.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only logical middle ground I can come up with between conspiracy and their traitors. I believe there was lying, and I believe they have a damned good reason. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it.
Right.
Because I'll tell you, all of them look very uncomfortable right
Oh,
now when they're having to talk about this. And the way Trump snapped about it,
right. Uncomfortable wasn't the word I used. It was uh it was pretty significant, I think.
well, that's the nicest word I can come up with. Shifty and fidgeting in their seats,
Uh,
squirming in their pants
yep.
is the most accurate. When they're having to talk about this and they're trying to hide it, but you can tell something
Is there.
isn't okay.
Yep.
They're not happy with it, but it's what they've got to do.
Right.
And we all know Dan Bongino's history between military, Secret Service, all of that. There's no way he would do this unless it was that he would lie about it unless there was an absolute damn good reason for the nation
Right.
or, or bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm not mad at them. It makes me wonder what the hell is going on a global level that they can't release this info.
Right.
It
Yeah.
would have had to have been something seriously shaking the entire foundation of our current government that would leave us in a really bad state, like complete collapse of government, maybe. I don't know. And again, a complete collapse of government all at once is not okay for a nation that is trying to bring peace to the world and get everyone on the same page, or at least close enough that they're not throwing nukes at each other.
Exactly.
So, yeah, when it comes to how I'm piecing this together, there is something seriously dangerous in those files. And I'm going to trust that Trump is doing this for the right reasons.
Right.
That's the only thing I can come up with.
Well, I hope it's the right reason. I hope it's not nothing nefarious or. And
I know it's the
I'm sure.
uncertainty of
Yeah.
whether you can trust these people now or not.
And I wonder how.
Because it turns out Trump's okay with the Butler investigation too.
Right. Yeah. Something
That was
is.
a weird one.
Yep.
But they did come through with a large chunk of the JFK files and the MLK files, which were nothing burgers because they had so much time to delete evidence. So
Exactly.
the problem is they all claimed there was some evidence until they get into office. Perhaps there simply isn't evidence, but it is a good conspiracy material.
Or
Well,
it's.
again, we're not
Yeah.
talking so much about them, but we're talking even about the witnesses who have come forward, the victims who have come forward.
Right.
And across the decades that this has been going on, there's got to be something available.
Yep.
I
Or it's
mean,
there
you
and
mean
they're
to tell me
just
the
not.
FBI's
Yeah.
been watching this guy for decades and
Right.
there's nothing?
Or it's there and they're just not doing anything about it. You know, I
And
mean,
that's
they're
the
not
one I
showing
tend
it.
to lean to.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
showing it. They're just hiding it. They're like, we don't have anything. And meanwhile, there's filing cabinet after filing cabinet of information, but it's just like, we don't
And
have
the only
anything.
thing I can come up with, and that's why I said the only thing I can come up with that's neutral territory on this and still can make a degree of sense is that there is something
Hold on a second.
far, far
Hold on.
worse. I hear it a weather alert. Is that you or me?
No, no, we're having a 911 outage. That's
Weather
okay.
or Amber?
Yeah, that's a 911 is out.
Okay.
That's unusual. That's
All
never happened.
right.
We're okay. Um,
That is unusual.
yep. That's never.
I was just wasn't sure if you needed to get to a shelter or
We're
if there
good.
was something more going on.
We're
Okay.
good.
Glad you guys are good,
Yep. Um,
but
yeah, it's a little bit.
it's alarming
It
the
is
way
a.
that things are going right now.
Yeah, I don't like. There's just so much that's out there right now that doesn't seem to be straightened out. So I'm not
Well,
quite
and Epstein is the perfect scapegoat. He's dead.
right. Well, yeah, but
And I
what
agree.
about
There are
Maxwell?
certain, materials that cannot be released unless you are going to file charges, and if you're going to file charges, releasing it would be defamatory. If you're not going to file, it's defamatory. Exactly.
Right, but
They are in a very tight spot.
where's Maxwell at though? You know she knows stuff. I'm surprised she's still,
Yeah, but she ain't gonna say nothing.
I know, but
Sh
the
Are you
fact
kidding?
that
Her life is
yeah, the fact that she knows though, do you know what I mean? And she's still alive just is
Mhm.
kind of like surprising, right?
I believe she's still in, basically solitaire. She's in
It
protected
really? She's
confinement,
still in oh,
if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that.
okay. And while you're double checking, let's have a screaming baby on the hand. Eh. Oh, you see the butterflies. You see the butterflies that Aunt Angie made, huh? They're pretty, huh? They're pretty butterflies. Hey, let's see who's in the house today. Oh, we got Vanilla. Say hi, Vanilla. Who else is in the house? We see Art. Art is in the house. Say hi, Art. Say I'm up instead of sleeping. Say I've been bad all day.
Um, it looks like as of 2022, she was moved out of solitary, so solitary confinement
Yeah.
solitary confinement. So, but yeah, back in 2022, they had her on suicide watch for a long time. And again, so yeah, as of 2022, and of course, now there's a ton of YouTube videos. If there's no Epstein client list, why is she in prison?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if there's no list, why is she in
I
prison?
know.
What do you want?
Maxwell has been convicted. There is nothing she can gain by saying anything. If she was going to talk, she'd have done that to get off of her charges.
Right.
Yeah, but by that
Or
point,
or she
he
was
was already dead, wasn't he?
I'm not sure about that. Or was she bought and paid?
Well, I do. Well, I do know her father has ties with Mossad, either directly work for them somehow, or it was casually working, contract here and there work. That is a fact that was put out. So, I mean, who knows why she ain't talking? Maybe there's like again, okay, let's say he did it. Let's say he did harm himself. Not some big conspiracy, but that's still questionable.
Right.
Um, it's like the excuses they're giving just don't line up. She still has to fear, in my opinion, of somebody else coming after her. Okay, I she was arranging the ladies for Epstein. That by itself is is criminal, even if nobody else was involved. Yes, but I think she offered up the flight logs and client list. I think she offered that up
I think so too. I'm pretty sure she did.
to not get a worse sentence of some sort. I'm trying to remember, but here's like if okay, I don't. One thing I don't understand about the surveillance footage they released, how it reset a minute before midnight, even back in the 90s, I don't recall the tech doing that.
Right.
I don't recall the technology back then being that primitive that it would have to reset a minute early. And they need time to find the other videos. You mean time to edit the videos? I don't know. It just something's fishy with it. Anyone who's older than me who remembers security tech or something back in the day, is that accurate? That an entire minute gets not recorded so it can reset? That just doesn't seem right. That's like a serious security danger right there. Like that's a security risk, a flaw that's in the system that does not make sense. And now you have a bunch of prisoners who now know that for 1 minute they could have a 1 minute to do something and sneak off while that camera's resetting. While the cameras are
Exactly.
resetting in their prison.
Exactly.
Seriously, why would they put that out? The
Well,
more you sit here and think about it, it doesn't add up. So in that minute, a ninja in black helicopter did it. No, that's not the one I'm talking about. I'm not going that elaborate. But like it's just I don't know. I don't know. And a minute is not long enough to strangle someone. So that takes easily 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how strong you are. Um, so yeah, I don't see anything like again that would confirm that, but to announce it publicly as an excuse now gives opportunity for criminals to do something in the middle of the night and not get seen on camera to prove it.
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, how many criminals are allowed to wander the jail at midnight? So, yeah, it's a back and forth that you can kick around. But I've still not known any tech to do that. And again, 1 minute isn't long enough to really do anything.
Well, it's enough to get you from your cell to another cell
So,
without being seen.
yeah, but you'd still be seen going into it.
Yeah.
Unless you literally sit in there for an entire day and wait for the 1 minute to sneak out and sneak into the net one next to it. You can always claim lack of evidence is evidence of the conspiracy. There's always been the problem with yes. And that's why I try not to get sucked too far into it, which is why I'm sticking to the middle ground. And again, these people are like, oh, that 1 minute, this, that, the other. That 1 minute is not enough time to do anything, but it is suspicious as to why it would do that. Why not update your system? Don't tell us you ain't got money. We know better. We
No,
send a
the
ton of
money,
taxes in.
the money went to the food. They had to put it towards food
And not
instead.
including all the prisoners who work for pennies on the hour,
Exactly.
pennies an hour to do this, to make money for the prisons. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. There's so much I can call BS on on the government story, but it still doesn't mean that there's no evidence. It also doesn't mean that they're not covering for something worse.
Right.
And that's why I stick to the middle ground of it's probably something far worse. And we're best off to just shut our pie holes and let it go for now when everyone's dead and
So,
gone.
in other
We'll
words,
know, but
like 50 years from now, we'll know. Jacob and JJ will be able to find out.
well, that's why you just remind them of the story.
Right. We'll tell them to go to Rex Sisters episodes, blah, 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 and go find out the info.
Well, I'm just saying I don't know. And this is the frustrating part of it is we don't have proof one way or the other. There
Exactly.
is a lot of substantiating evidence from witnesses and testimonies that were out, news reports on it. Then all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, by the way, nothing happened. Y'all are crazy. It's like, this doesn't work this way. That's why I say there's got to be some kind of middle because not all those girls were lying. There's a lot
Sorry.
more to it. I
Sorry,
think there is a hell of a lot more to it.
yeah. Sorry, we're over here trying to sing or do something. Oh. Oh.
It's all right. You could just tip him upside down and shake him for his pocket money for lunch.
He doesn't have. All he has on is a diaper, and there's only one thing in there. Can you hear him at all?
Oh yeah, you don't want to shake that out.
Can you hear him?
We can hear him. Yeah,
Say, what's going on?
he's like, I want to be part of this. He was doing good for a minute, and then he's like, yeah, never mind.
His teeth are hurting, and he's tired.
Maybe an ice cube and a washcloth for him
I've
to
done
chew
it
on.
all. I've done it
Done it
all.
all.
He likes chewing on me. I'll stop.
Well,
Oh, oh, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Oh, is that funny? You think that's funny?
most rope deletion choke because they don't do it right. So that's a process that proves nothing, but most people don't know that. And that's something I did point out. Yep. Is that that does not happen quickly.
No,
You
it doesn't.
cannot
No,
strangle
no,
someone in
no,
less than a minute.
no,
There's no way.
nope,
How are you going to stage an entire scene in 1 minute? It doesn't make sense.
nope.
So on that line, I think he was more afraid of going and having to testify and repercussions and stuff. That's why he's just like, you know what? Peace out. I'm not going to argue that because, again, watching the surveillance footage makes no sense. It just, there's no time for someone to have gone in and done something. And that's, again, if we were given
The
the
fact,
real footage.
right?
They could have altered the date and times, but then we're going way over the top. And I don't like going
Yeah,
way
but
over the
it's
top. I mean,
very.
I
It,
jokingly will. Like when I
I.
said Marjorie Taylor Greene is controlling the weather to get that
Right.
bill passed.
It's very. But I will
Obviously,
tell you, it's
I'm
very
not going to
easy
do that.
to manipulate data. It's very easy to create new stuff and slide things in where it wasn't there before. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? So,
And again, if that camera system's from the 90s, I don't, it's like, how well
what?
is the data and how easy do we, like, people stopped using that shit long ago. What the hell are they doing? Sending stuff from that with tech from the 90s
Well, but that's what's going on in our prisons, in our school systems. It's
everywhere.
nothing's updated. Look at our power grids.
I know.
Look at the
All
hospitals.
this money they take from our taxes
Exactly.
never goes where it's supposed to. I go
Exactly.
with the Occam's razor. Yep. A rich man didn't want to spend his life in jail in a cage. Yep. Exactly. That's what I'm going with. I absolutely think that part is accurate. He took himself out. As for all the evidence, that is still, I'm on the fence. I don't think there was no evidence. I, I think there was plenty of evidence, but I also think it reveals something that is far beyond what they are capable of releasing. And like Art was even saying, you release something, you better charge them. Well, if they have to charge every single person, what does that mean? That they're afraid to come forward with it? Or
Hmm.
is there a name on a list, but no evidence that they actually did something, even though the name's on the list? Which anyone can write a name down and say, yep, here's
Here's the
this
person.
person was
Yeah,
here and this is the a child they were with. But unless you can substantiate it with a video or something, that's a no go.
right.
So there's a second pack. No, it's empty. Y'all went through that much soda. I know, right? Go get some water or some tea. I had like 3 cans. Just until dad gets off work, go drink something else. So where are you drinking? A can that I opened a while ago. I know, right? Go. I'm in the middle of a podcast. Where are you podcasting? We're talking about the Epstein stuff. Oh, you mean the fact that he's still alive and being held under witness protection? And my son's on that conspiracy. Who is in a position to know, to have never claimed there was a list other than the flight log, which are required by the FAA. Yeah. Um,
And
I
that's what.
think Dan Bongino claimed there was a client list. Pam Bondi claimed there was a client list. Cash Patel claimed there was one. I think Trump said there might. I think Trump. I don't know. Trump, I don't think said it. I think he said it needs to be looked into. And a bunch of the I think there was a couple of the victims who claimed there was a list, that they had a list of all the people, or at least documentation of the people. I'm not sure exactly on the victims part, but I've heard many of the Dan Bongino, Cash Patel, and Bondi talk multiple times about a client list being there. They said it with a lot of conviction, but I guess they got there and found out either they really overestimated the evidence or
Pretty.
they were told they have to shut their pie holes. So either way, they're eating crow.
I'm thinking they overestimated.
I think they bit off more than they could chew.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
There you go.
And that's why they're putting so much hush about it. But as we all know, if a death is off screen, they're probably not dead.
And there goes my son.
Come on, it's movie cinema. That's how movies work.
Tulip says, I think the client list is in Maxine's black book. And that is a possibility, but where is that?
Yeah, they've claimed she's had a little black booking. Good afternoon, Tulip. Or Tulip.
Yes, and thank you for stepping in.
Yes. Wonder which way you pronounce it. Tulip or tulip? Say it.
Oh, yeah, depends on which region of the United
what
States
part
you're
of the
in.
country you're in. We say tulips.
Ah.
And
I say tulips.
Of
like
course
the
you do.
U is a harder sound.
Yeah, because.
Well, I'm a combination of Michigan and Southern, so take your pick where it's going to come from.
Howard, St. Louis. Are you watching the butterflies?
Oh, we understand, Blue. Thank you for popping back. I'm a Canuck. Oh, so how do you, okay, so that's an interesting one. How is, well, it depends. Is it a French translation or an English? Sorry, picking on the French Canadians. I worked with one. He was awesome. I loved it. But I also worked with a guy from where was it? The doc was, I want to say Quebec. He was up in Quebec for most of his life, and then he came to the United States to become an eye doctor. Oh my God, that guy was so much fun and so hard to handle. Though he had no filter, and a lot of the girls didn't like working with him. But oh, I loved it. It was so fun. Oh, so Elvis is still running around someplace too, but I need actual evidence. I hear you, Art. That's why I said I'm on the wall I'm like on the fence on this one. Is like there is circumstantial but not solid. And where there's smoke, there can be fire, but there can also be just a smoke bomb. Or there can be a cloud of dust coming from a wild herd of elephants running around that looks like smoke. I mean, it's just, again, that's why I said I'm on the fence with this. I don't want to sit there and say flat out they're a bunch of morons, but I also don't want to call them traitors either.
Right.
Because, again, I just don't see it. I don't see them as betraying like that for the like for the shits and giggles, literally. I don't. I just, it's I'm so on the fence with this, like I am with the freedom of religion and politics.
All right,
It's like,
let's move on then.
I'm so torn.
Let's move on then.
Yep.
Not that
I'll just keep going in circles if we have to keep.
Yeah, not that I have anything to say.
I know, no, but like I will just keep going back and forth on myself, playing both sides, trying to weigh out which is best. And we could be here all day with me kicking it back and forth.
Right.
So,
Blue, I appreciate you saying
do we want to pick up?
Blue, I appreciate you saying the baby is adorable, but just once I'd like you to say I'm adorable. And she goes, these kids, she gotta go.
You're adorable.
Thank you so much, Crazy Bee. So are you. Did you just throw up on my shoulder?
Hell, I am. What are you smoking?
He just threw up on my shoulder. On my shoulder.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, see, we had sweet
If you're
potato.
old enough to remember DC madman. Then all eventually came out. People can't say secrets if there is a political gain to be had. Yeah, it is tough. And instead of driving myself crazy, yep, we'll kind of just see where time takes it and who's right in the end. Look how long people have been crying about all kinds of things, conspiracies, and a large chunk turned out to be true. Look at MK Ultra. It
Where's
just
our
took
mama?
a hell of a lot longer than they wanted
There's our
for
mama.
the truth to come out.
Hi.
So, you
Oh,
know,
here.
one day at a time. So, do you want me to pick up on that last video of Lou that we were working with
Yeah,
yesterday?
yeah. Let's do that.
I backed it up a few moments, I believe, from where we were. So,
Okay.
um, let's go from here. Oh shit! Let me do a good job. Let me actually let me transition. There we go.
There you go. That looks good.
All right.
As he
Let's hit
is.
play.
Here's Mr. Wonderful. Take a listen to this.
Now, what he's been doing, running around the streets of New York saying, free taxis, free subway, free buses for you, free everything. And of course, if you don't understand what that means long term, you might vote for him. They certainly are proposing that. And so this is a classic case of reading Atlas Shrugged. I got my kids reading it, and they're freaking out reading that thing because that's exactly what it's proposing. You can't do this in an environment where there's competition of other states. The money just leaves. The tax base leaves. The capital leaves. The developer leaves. The risk capital leaves. And you're left with a collapsing environment. New York City is it's a horrible message for the American dream. This guy is turning New York into the American nightmare. The money comes in, it flies right over New York City, and it lands somewhere else. That's the problem. And what he's been doing.
Okay, so apparently, this is one of the first July 4ths that this has ever happened in New York City. 0 shootings or murders in New York City on July 4th.
I want to call BS. I think they just haven't found the bodies yet. I'm sorry. I'm calling BS. I think they just haven't found the bodies and there were no witnesses to report it.
Come on in, hun. Come on, Les. 1353. We're on the podcast. Yeah. So
Yep, nothing is free. Somebody always pays. Although
right.
it may not be you, when the people get tired of paying, they leave. And the thing is, oh, you want free medical? Well, once you get to a certain point of sick, your cure is lead, usually in a 9 millimeter diameter type thing. So, yeah, that's how the whole socialist communists give you free medical until you become too much medical necessity. Then yeah, you get Canada and England with the nice little pods. So yeah, I don't like it. And I have a short I forgot to upload yesterday. I'll do it when we get off the live. I put a short together about that.
Okay.
So oh, the one I showed you, D. I just keep forgetting to upload it because
Yeah,
you
they
know
didn't.
me.
They didn't have any shootings. They all decided to go to stabbings, probably.
Nah,
Bye,
I just think
baby.
they haven't found them yet.
Bye, baby. Nene loves you. Bye. We are
Let's give it a
child
few
free.
months and see what the news says of what the autopsies say.
Right.
Sorry, I don't mean to be. That's my dark sense of humor coming out. Sorry if I offended anyone, or if it happens to be your family member who is turns out to have been that. I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but
Right.
you can have free healthcare, but that doesn't mean you'll get prompt treatment.
That's
Yep.
correct.
I
That's
tried
why I
I
have.
tried telling people about that years ago, and people from Canada warned me, "It's getting
Huh.
bad." And then when I said it here in America, they're like, "Oh no!" When I talk to people, they're like, "It's great."
Uh huh.
Like,
I
not
have
from what I'm
several
hearing.
yeah, I have several friends in Canada that one has a major health issues. It took her 2 years to get surgery. And you know what they do is they don't go to the emergency room until maybe you can confirm this or whatever, but they don't go to the emergency room. They send, what the hell are they called? It's like a nurse practitioner, but there's a different name for them. They send them to their
Yeah.
home. They go to their home versus the person going to the
Oh,
ER.
so it's a home it's an urgent home health care type of
Kind of, yeah,
service.
and it might not necessarily be urgent. It could take you a month to get the appointment for this nurse to show up. It's not a doctor, it's a nurse, and typically she's like, oh, well, you can wait a little while. Yeah, it took 2 years for her to get her surgery. She thought she was going to die.
I know yeah.
And
Art
people
says
want,
it's great if you don't have serious medical issues.
yeah, mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, let's get through this because I know we spent a lot of time talking already.
The last time in recorded history that happened was literally never. Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think that happened? Why do you think that that took place in New York City? New York City had no shootings or murders on July 4th for the first time in
No
recorded
reported.
history, according to police commissioner. Why
None
did that happen?
reported.
And I didn't look. I'm from New York City. I got my ears to the
Oh,
streets.
hold
I got a
on.
lot of friends.
Tulip says their first question is, do you have any pets and does anyone in the house smoke?
Mm-hmm. And
Yep.
she had a cat, and I cannot tell you how difficult it was to find somebody to sit for that cat.
Mhm. It's horrible.
Yes, it is. I would not wish that type of health care. I mean, it's bad enough what's been done to the United States healthcare system from the insurance companies, uh, let alone to have anything like Canada is going through. And people just don't understand. And again, how do you get them to understand? I mean, you can tell them all
Let
you
them
want, but
live
yeah,
it.
yep. Till they live it.
Go
Till
live
they
it.
live,
Go live
yep,
in Canada and see how it works.
yep.
Yep.
Go
It
ahead, hit
always ends
play.
the same.
Yep.
Whether it's from the 1930s to the 1990s, it all ends the same.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's hit play.
Friends that were outside last night, that they live the life that they live, not judging them. You know, I don't live that life. I don't go outside. I don't really party. I don't blow up fireworks. I don't really do that. I don't live over there anymore.
Oh, hold on. Tulip adds, we told the nurse she was fired before she could show up to check on my mother in law. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I'll tell you, I did home health care where I drove the doctor to the patient's home multiple times. There were only 2 homes I refused to go into unless the homeowner was there to help. One looked like it was the only lived in house in a block of squatters. And then the second one, they were literally dealing drugs off the front porch when we pulled up.
Jeez.
I'm like, no, I won't go into drug houses and I won't go into a home that is just an elderly patient and no one around to help protect us if all the squatters decide they want to
They're
get
going
what
to
we
take
have.
over. Yep.
So, yeah, people who see doctors once a year have one perspective. People who see doctors every other month or two have a different. Oh my God, I had to just pick up a new specialist, and I told my primary care. She's a nurse practitioner. I told her I feel like a Pokemon collector, but of doctors. And she busted up laughing. It was like, gotta get them all. Let me get this specialist, that specialist. It's like, and now I'm going in for my hearing in August. I finally got a new pain doctor. I go next Monday for Monday the 28th. And while I'm out there for the pain appointment, I get to see my asthma doctor the same day too. I mean, the only thing missing is my gastrointestinal specialist.
I still
Like,
have feet.
and don't get me started on the other ones I still need to see, and I have not bothered with because it's not a pressing matter. So,
Yeah, but you are
yeah,
gonna see them.
eventually.
Yeah, I'll eventually you. And you're up to my number, so you can't say too
I'm trying to keep it that way. I don't want those numbers. That's my
yeah,
point.
well,
I'd
I don't
rather
know
die.
either, but what do you do when you have health care now? Gives you a PCP, and what does the PCP do? No, gotta go see a
They
specialist.
just send you to a specialist because they can't treat jack shit no more.
Right. Yep.
Yep. Yep. I even talked about to my nurse practitioner about that. And she's like, yeah, we're basically a gatekeeper and we triage which specialist you go to.
Yeah.
Yep. I know. It sucks because I'd rather just see you to get this treated. My asthma is not that complex.
Well, that's what
Okay?
they
It is
used to
not
do
that
back
bad.
in the day, didn't they?
Yeah.
CP used to
Yes.
be able to order tests, order the blood work, send you, to get an MRI, send you to get a CAT scan. They don't do that anymore. They send you to the
Nope. They
respective,
send you a specialist and the specialist sends you for it.
correct. And it's all, I believe, a money grab. I told you, I have 17 specialists. 17. That number is the
Mm-hmm.
lowest number of doctors that I can have if we're going to try to
Yeah.
stay and
Yep.
or have some
And like
type of
Art just
quality
said,
of life.
my medical Art says my medical file comes in a wheelbarrow. I used to schedule my checkups for a continuous set of appointments in the same day. All my appointments are on
Uh-huh.
Mondays,
Yeah.
and we try to schedule them like Monday we're going to be in the city because they don't have these specialists in my town. So we go to the city and one is at 11, one is at 3, so it's a city day. We're going to set aside money to have lunch or take a pack lunch, and I'm going to be miserable in the car most of the day.
Wow. You better.
It's all we can do.
Right.
But I'm not going 3 Mondays in a row when I can just take one day, get it done and over with, take my wheelchair, we'll be good. I will
Right.
survive somehow because I'm not running every week. We ain't got gas, time, or energy for that. I have other things I need to be doing.
Well,
Screw
just
that.
consider.
Luckily, my
Yeah,
ear
just consider
is
yourself
intact.
lucky. Yeah, consider yourself lucky that you were able to get those appointments. Oftentimes you can't. Oftentimes, you'll uh,
I
my
know.
the hospital's 45 minutes away. So I might have one appointment and I'll call and I'll say,
Mhm.
"Oh, can I see this doctor?" "Nope, not available, but you can come in on Thursday." And I'm like, "I can't have Eric take off 2 days in a row when you own your own business." I'm like, "That's money out of our he
I
doesn't
have That's why my ENT appointment's at the end of August is because 1, it's not life threatening. 2, that was as soon as they had a Monday in my town. So I didn't have to go to the city. Because if I wanted to go to the city, they could have gotten me in next Monday, this coming Monday.
right,
But I would then have to go 2 weeks in a row. And I'm not going all the way out there and stuff like that when we can just do it here in town.
I
So,
agree.
okay, let's do it. And so they have me in. They're like, "Yep, you want to come early, fill out, we'll send you the paperwork in advance, bring your ID. And by the way, once you get here, just so you know, the testing will be done. And then the doctor actually takes a long time with the patients. He actually gets to know you." I'm like, holy shit, what? A doctor who cares? And she busted up laughing. I'm like, I haven't seen that in a while.
Right.
She just, but again, you don't get doctors who actually will sit and take this time. And since I am a more complex case because of my history, it's like, yeah, because I was explaining to her about my ears and my history and what's going on with them, how long it's been like this. And she's like, yeah, we'll let the doctor figure it out. I'm like, I'm not doing guessing games and I'm not going to bother picking up over the counter hearing aids that aren't the right thing for what my ears might be doing. And I may need tubes in my ears again.
Right.
So I might be up for a quick 2 hour, not even 2 hour. It's like a 45-minute surgery.
That'd
They
be
knock
fun
you
if
out.
you need. I'm gonna laugh my ass off if you need tubes again. Oh God.
No,
I
it's
know, but if it
because of my
works,
eustachian tubes.
if that's what helps,
It's what I
and
got to
then
do.
you could, and then
And
you
so
could wait, and then you could hear what I'm saying. It'll be a whole lot better.
instead of having my volume blasting to where the kids
Right.
hear it on the other side of the room.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, so what they'll do is they'll go in, they'll knock me out, they'll cut a little slit in my eardrum, slip this tube thing in, and then do it on the other side and wake me up. Bye. Because you can't locally anesthetize the eardrum. It doesn't work like that. And who's going to sit still while there's a scalpel going in their ear?
Nope. Nada.
So, yeah, I'm just putting it out there. There may be a surgery up in the near future. And that means I won't be able to use my earbuds. I'm going to have to use over the ear headphones and so much more because earbuds would actually then damage my hearing because of that opening straight through. So, yeah, it sucks what I'm going to have to do in the near future if this is going to happen. Um, Art says I schedule my stuff same day 6 months out because I couldn't day and take I couldn't day an hour off. I couldn't take an hour off. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Off every couple of months, running to the yup, running a shop. I lost money. Exactly. And I have to go on my ex-husband's work schedule. So since he has Mondays off every week, it makes it a little bit easier for me to do it, but I hate running so frequently. So I tried to compile them into one day. So if I can get my gastro, my asthma, and my um, pain management all in the same day, I would absolutely love it. And then, oh, what also a pain in the ass is with my schedule because of the way it's set up, the pharmacy gets my prescriptions staggering, and I can't just get them filled all at once.
That's craziness.
So, anyways, here we are wasting time again. Oh my God, I just realized I spent the last 30 minutes. Shut up, Angela. Let's go.
But I didn't hear about anybody getting shot, stabbed, or killed. Like, so we'll see. But apparently, and again, is it because of a new president? Is it because of ICE? Is it because of Mayor Adams? Is it because New York City is stepping up the way that they police? Like, what is it? Are people scared to commit crimes now more than they were like 4 years ago? Is that what it is? I'm not sure. But very interesting what's going on in New York City. All right, let's go to Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, the biggest critic. He gets a lot of hate for this, but I want to listen to what he says about Zoran Mamdani. Take a listen.
So right now there is a viral clip of Zoran Mamdani giving an interview while he's doing something that quite honestly is very disgusting, yet calculated. He's doing it for a reason, but also just kind of show what he is pointing towards. I have many thoughts on this. This is Zoran Mamdani eating disgustingly, talking about the struggle of Palestine. It's so contrived. Play cut 251.
So the third holy grail of taboos in American politics, you have socialism, you have Islam, and then you have Palestine. And you are really going for the trifecta. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Tell me, why is Palestine a part of your politics?
When you grow up as...
I ain't gonna lie. I think I gotta call some of my Muslim friends. Because my Muslim friends, I mean, they're from the West, so they're a lot different maybe from Middle Eastern Muslims, just like Christians in Middle East are probably different than Christians in the West, or Christians in the East are probably different. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I know a lot of Muslims. I grew up with nothing but Muslims. I went to school with Muslims. They don't eat with their hands, bro. And they're also not pro LGBTQ. That's another thing. That's why this guy confuses me because I don't know what he's trying to do. But eating rice with your hands and like he's trying to do this thing where it's just like he's trying to be so relatable. Like he's trying to be so relatable. If like that, he wants to like, yeah, I know the struggle of eating with my hands. This is like I don't know any Muslims like everybody I grew up with, bro. They don't eat like this. I don't know, bro. Like
someone, especially in the third world, you have a very different understanding of the Palestinian struggle.
So he's not even eating with his hands correctly. People that have grown up in the third world, they say he's not even doing it right. He's just faking it. He's doing this to signal his third world cred. So think about it. To get credibility in the New York mayor's race, you have to pretend to be in the third world. Now, understand that in the modern world, authenticity is considered to be the most important thing ever. But should it be? Now, authenticity, if you're pointing towards something good and virtuous, is beautiful. You're authentically trying to be the best version of yourself, to be honest. If you're pointing towards a moral and transcendent ideal. But Zoran Mamdani is not authentically trying to point New York or aim towards a better city. He's trying to bring New York into the gutter. And authenticity without virtue is just in disguise. People say, well, he's just being himself. He's so authentic. Okay, if a third worlder comes and starts defecating on the side of the street in Times Square, are we going to say, boy, he's being his true and authentic self. He's really being wonderful. No,
I want to point out there are people from even Americans who are shitting on the side of the streets.
That is true.
He makes it sound like a hypothetical, but it actually happens.
Yeah, look at San Francisco.
I know. He's like, he throws out a hypothetical, not realizing that it's crazy, and we keep walking or call the cops to have it picked up and cleaned up. I don't know. It's just he sits there and makes it sound like it's a hypothetical, but it actually does.
Or you create a map so you don't.
Yeah, there's an actual app for your phone for San Francisco.
That's correct.
Oops, go ahead.
I said, yeah.
There must be a lag happening again.
Okay. There's an app in San Francisco.
A slight one.
Where not to step.
Mm-hmm. It's about time. Oh, all right. Let me hit play so we can try and get through this. I don't want to go down any more side rabbit holes.
We have standards in the West. In fact, when I'm raising my daughter and I try to teach her table manners, I don't say, just be your authentic self, honey. Keep on interrupting us. Use your hands when you eat macaroni and cheese. No, in fact, my wife and I, we go through methodical lessons of here's a spoon. Here's how to use it, because we want to elevate the human being above our natural, broken, fleshly state. Now, Zoran Mamdani, he's faking this entire thing, obviously. He's trying to be authentically third world when he himself is not even authentically third world. So the whole thing is just so bizarre. And even more telling, like, why would you fake being in the third world? Because that gets you brownie points, because people say, oh, he is a embodiment of the struggle against.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Like, it's the whole AOC character. It's like, yeah, I'm from the Bronx. Like, I'm a Bronx girl. I eat guys from Queens all day. But then, like, I'm really from there, and like, I've never seen her before, right? So maybe somebody that's really Muslim and is from the third world and came here, they're like, bro, why are you doing this? Like, this is not who we are. Why are you at pride parades? Like, that's not what we do. That's not what we stand for. Who is this guy, and why is he pretending to be one of me or one of us? It's a very confusing thing, because most of the people that are pro-Palestine, they're all a part of the Rainbow Coalition, right? You could be, I don't really care. It could be pro-gay, pro-whatever. conservatives or a lot of gay people that don't associate themselves with that. My whole point being is, I know Muslims, and the Muslims that I know, they don't behave like this. And number two, I'm a Christian. I'm not sure that voting for a Muslim to be in office is a good thing. I just don't. As a Christian, why would I want another religion to, like, it's so much, it's friction to this, because there's many different conversations you can have. Like, you could talk about religion, you could talk about who this person really is. But I just think, bro, I just think people are falling for it, bro. They're falling for it. They are beginning to be the most anti-capitalism. They're falling to be the most. They just. But that's how bad it's gotten. It's like, how did we get here? Well, we got here because of these bad politicians and bad people being poor, people not transcending.
Oh, that was it. So yeah, he's got a point about the. There are many conversations to be had. We've had a couple of them, but
Yeah.
I still. We all know Mamdani's not good for many reasons. Take your pick
Right.
as to why he's not good. That's all I can add.
And I
Is
would
take your
say,
pick as to why
and
he's
I,
not good.
right, and I would say, just like I say about Trump and everybody else, look at his policies, see what they are,
Mm-hmm.
then you can certainly go elsewhere if you choose. But it's going to be the policies that he has that's going to be the driver. You might think he's the best thing since buttered bread, but are you going to be able to have butter and bread when he's mayor and he has the grocery stores? What are you going to do when you don't have
Yeah,
that? So look at his policies,
exactly.
what he's proposing, and I think that that probably is the best way to approach him versus everybody arguing
Yep.
over these other areas, such as religion, such as, is he eating rice the correct way or not, right? I just think that it would save
Yep.
a lot of, hardship. Fortunately, some friends can remain friends when they disagree, but other friends cannot do so. So, uh,
Yep.
this is again, this is a good topic. I think, that we went through this whole little process that we did, as difficult as some of it, or you might think it is. uh it proves that, again, we're both human, and as we explained, what you see is what you get. We're live, we don't talk about stuff. We see the same video, but we do not discuss what the topic of the video is. We don't say, well, oh, I got an issue because he was eating rice with his hands, or I have an issue with his religion. So, again, you're getting our live, raw reaction to whatever's being
Yep.
promoted on the channel. And trust me,
Exactly.
yesterday probably isn't going to be the last time shit happens, but fortunately, we have
But it will be fun. It'll be fun still going
yeah.
forward.
And I think that we have a strong enough connection between the two of us that we are able to come back together. And I mean, and yesterday was immediate. As soon as we both stepped back, we had a discussion and we were like, oh my gosh, we should be talking about all this on air. So you guys missed a good portion of
Yeah,
what
it
we
was like
talked
what,
about.
15 minutes
Yeah.
tops?
Yeah. It was really a good conversation, one that we had not ever had. And I wish that we would have thought about that, including you guys in on it, but you got the gist of most of it. But again, in this particular case, and I do want to stress to you guys, Lou Valentino is a friend of the show. Crazy B and I both know him quite well. And so we're very familiar with his take on things the way they are. He's pretty adamant, I would say, and dug in on his beliefs, and it's kind of hard to get him to change his mind on things, and
Well,
it comes slowly, I'd say.
that's us too.
Yeah. I'd like to think that we're a little bit quicker on the draw than he is, but that's just me saying that 'cause it's us.
But we're also a lot older.
Yes.
Yeah, we're a lot older than
Yeah,
I think I'm like 14 or 15 years older than him.
Well, I could be his mother, so if I was his mother, that look at. So that's kind of where we both are at, and that in age and experience, and that all makes a difference. So,
Yep.
Again, I've told you before, I'm old enough I could be Crazy B's mom. So,
Yeah.
I,
Actually, yeah, it's
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 possible.
interesting that because I mean, if I remember correctly, well, I don't want to put too much out there,
Right.
so never mind.
Right.
But yes, you are old enough to be my mother.
Correct. So if she gets out of line next time, I just might drive down and smack her in the head. You never know. So who do you think you're talking to? Your mother? Anyway, I digress.
Something like that.
Yeah, we have too much fun sometimes carrying on. But so I guess with that, what else so Art says if you determine you can't vote for someone due to their religion or yours, that's your choice. But there isn't a religious test to hold any office. Correct. I will say one thing.
Kind of conversation from yesterday.
Right. If you do not vote, you do not get the bitch about anything. If you do not vote.
Mm-hmm.
If you sit on the sidelines on your ass and don't get up to vote, you cannot bitch about one damn thing. Nothing. I don't want to hear it.
Yep.
So
we have another relatively.
Yeah, what do we
I was going to say, that there's a almost 8-minute liberal Hivemind video we have time for.
Okay.
So, and this is in the order. This is the last of the Mamdani, as far as I know.
No.
So, I think we finally hit it. I think we're done with him. So, yep. Let's take a listen to this. Oh, let me hit transition. And now we can go.
All right, folks, so take a look at this moment from J.D. Vance.
I may not speak for many of you, but I was once comforted by these contradictions within the modern left. How could privileged whites march around with a straight face decrying white privilege? How could progressives pretend to love conservative Muslims despite those Muslims' views on gender and sexuality? But the answer is obvious if you think about it, and it's a very, very dangerous and very sad answer. The radicals of the far left, they don't need a unifying ideology of what they're for because they know very well what they're against. What unites Islamists, gender studies majors, socially liberal white urbanites, and big pharma lobbyists, it isn't the ideas of Thomas Jefferson or even of Karl Marx. It's hatred. They hate the people in this room. They hate the President of the United States. And most of all, they hate the people who voted for that President of the United States. This is the animating principle of the American far left. Most of the people who vote for Democrats, they're good people struggling to get by, even if we think that they're misguided in their political judgment. But pay close attention to what the leadership of this movement says outside of the glossy campaign ads and outside of the general election tested messaging themes, and it's obvious what animates the leadership of the modern Democratic Party. They do not care that Islamism hates gays and subjugates women because for now, it's a useful tool of death against Americans. And they certainly don't care that deporting low-wage immigrants will raise the wages of the native-born, because they don't mean to create higher living standards for those who are born and raised here, whether they're black, white, or any other skin color. They mean to replace those people with people who will listen to their increasingly bizarre ethnic and religious appeals. They are arsonists, and they will make common cause with anyone willing to light the match. And that's why Mamdani himself is such an appealing instrument to the left. He captures so many of the movement's apparent contradictions in a single human being.
He said it perfectly. Zoran Mamdani is the left. Not just because he's a radical and he wants Soviet-style grocery stores, not because he wants to eliminate private ownership and all other kinds of wacky, kooky, crazy communist ideas. No, it's also because he embodies all the constant contradiction. You've got a guy born into extreme privilege, raised with more luxury than most of us will ever see in our lifetime, and yet here he is pretending as if he understands the downtrodden, understands their issues, and has all the answers. Here we have a young socialist guy who claims he hates capitalism, oh, capitalism bad, but he could have lived everywhere, yet he chooses to live in a capitalist country. He chooses to live a life that's benefited from all the luxuries of capitalism, and now his entire career is built off donations that were earned through a capitalist system that enables democracy. I mean, capitalism is everything to this guy, but here he is telling us it's time to be more like Cuba. It's constant contradictions. You know, like the whole chickens for KFC phenomenon. That's another contradiction here. Zoran Mamdani tells us that he's on the side of the radical Islamists. I mean, he's arm in arm with the radical jihadists. But then in the same breath, and plastered all over his campaigning, he tells us that he's fighting for queer liberation. How can a queer liberation flag and a Hamas flag ever come together? You know, the left's coalition just makes no frickin' sense. I think that's the final conclusion. But of course, it doesn't matter, because you think these people care about consistency? I mean, please, they'll say love is love and trans rights are human rights, but then they'll turn around and support extremist regimes that literally execute gay people. They'll scream feminism, feminism this, so we're going to the slut march, but then they'll also march in support of Hamas. They're walking, talking contradictions. And the only reason any of this even works, the reason all these groups can get along under one banner, despite them being so seemingly diametrically opposed, I mean, they certainly don't share values, but what they do share, what makes it work, is the common enemy, of course. A shared enemy. It's a hate cult. A burning...
I want to point out that this has been going on slowly and gradually getting worse for far too long. This was not an overnight phenomenon. These people were conditioned to just hate and not think about what they're supporting with logic. They were just taught anything against these people is a thing that must, the enemy of my enemy, basically, is my friend, with blind support, not thinking what's going to happen down the road. That's why we have all these activist idiots out there. And it's been going on for a very long time.
I agree to that to some extent, except for people like Mamdani, who's in that position. He knows.
Oh, the ones who are taking advantage of it.
Right.
The people who are taking advantage of it are different than the ones that are supporting them.
Correct. So the ones that I would say would be your, the wealthy, people from Hollywood, the schools, things like that. They know damn well right from wrong, or, in Mamdani's case, he knows he grew up privileged. He had more money than probably all of us put together,
Yeah.
So he knows damn well what destruction he's going to cause. The reason, well, what is the answer? Why? Why does he want to do it? Why?
More power. More
Is
power.
it power?
His ego. It's an ego.
Is what the same type of thing that Oprah Winfrey pulls off? You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. I mean, how does somebody that was
more or less
rapper,
did that with
go ahead.
A failed rapper.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. A failed rapper. He worked for his mother for a couple years, and then he has Nothing. And how? You mean, how do the people see? It's one thing that he's doing what he's doing. That's one thing. The other thing
Mhm.
that blows my mind is that nobody, or maybe they are and I'm wrong, is listening and comprehending and realizing what's going to happen down the road when he gets into office. How could that many people vote for him? How?
Again, we're coming from multiple generations. Now, the original generation that started teaching this communist isn't so bad in America planted a seed they knew was bad. But
Mm-hmm.
those first teachers raised teachers to teach it who were truly indoctrinated.
Yes, I
And
agree with that.
those teachers
Mm-hmm.
indoctrinated another group of people. And
Mm-hmm.
so there is actually probably one, maybe a generation and a half of people who truly believe that this is a good thing. And a lot of the people who would vote against it may not be able to take off work to go get it because, hey, rent's due. I can't afford to take off an hour from work if my boss will even let me take an hour for it. And it's if it takes an hour to actually vote. Because in a place like New York, that could be an all day thing.
Exactly. Well, that goes
So
back to the
Isn't
whole.
that why they closed down schools for today?
it's summer.
No, for
But
voting.
that
There's
doesn't
no
explain.
schools are closed because it's not summertime.
That explains some of
Anyways,
it, Crazy Bee, I think, but it doesn't explain all of it. Well, the other thing
oh
too,
yeah.
though, is the only salvation out of this is possibly is that the majority of the people didn't vote. That's the only potential saving
Well,
grace, maybe.
and again, they're going off of the Democratic primaries. This
Right.
isn't the actual election.
Exactly.
They don't know who the Republicans are voting for. They're guessing,
Well,
or they're not saying
even,
publicly.
yeah. Or they're going to go for Adams again. Although, I think he really messed up. I mean, he should have just either went Republican or just stayed a Democrat and did what the hell he wanted to. You know what I mean?
But
As,
I can
as
understand why he wouldn't want to Democrat because there are things about the
oh, I know
Republicans
what
I
they
don't
did
like.
to
I'm
him.
considered
Oh
an
yeah,
independent. I'm
yeah.
a
What
registered
they did to
Republican.
him. But the problem is we know full well that independents typically, the majority of them, they don't win.
But here, the nice thing is as much as the independents are a toss up, he has a known name and a known track record. And so far, he hasn't been doing horrible, but he has a shit ton of stuff he's trying to fix from before.
Right. And
So it's
I
going to
don't know
take
if that's going
time.
to be enough or not.
We can only hope.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, there's Curtis. Uh, he's been
Yeah.
running how many times now?
Oh my gosh.
And he's a little on the kooky side. He's a
Yes, he
little on the
is.
kooky side. I don't think he's actually going to get it.
No.
So it's going to be pretty much between Adams and Mamdani.
Mm-hmm.
And the good news is it doesn't directly impact me, but I hate that it impacts other people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have
So,
let's read the comments that we have from Art.
oh, how
He
far
did
back?
a Amen D. I missed that. He's been preaching that for years, decades. Yeah, that has to do with if you don't vote, shut the hell up. Most
Yep,
politicians know what they're against and stand for nothing other than what's convenient at the moment, including Donald Trump. They all do. There isn't not a one of them.
yep,
You didn't have to add his name, Art, we know. Only the privileged have the luxury of being able to have the nuanced views. The rest of us are too busy just trying to make it day by day. And Art, you said that very eloquently, and the word is nuanced. That's exactly what it is.
yep.
Yep. What else does he say here?
And the last one?
The Dems saw Adams as a Trump puppet after the pardon. That doesn't mean the actual voters feel the same in large numbers. Oh, I hope you're right. I mean, we thought Adams was
I
bad
do.
when he got in, remember? And now we're wishing
Well,
that
he again
yeah,
said what he had to say to get elected,
right,
and then he did what was, for the most part, right. He started cutting back on the immigrants thing.
right,
He agreed to work with ICE. Those are major movements. He is not for the free everything under the sun,
correct.
but he
Yep,
does agree to, lowering taxes on certain people and not adding more taxes to the people who are mostly funding the city. So,
correct.
he's pretty balanced on it. And I have to say, even as a Democrat, he was a little bit more on the sane side when it came to what he's actually doing.
Right,
And I don't like that he lied, but he did, like every other politician, to get into office.
right.
I don't like it, but I do like what the outcome is becoming.
Yep. We can
And
only
he's
hope.
funding the police again. So funding the police
Right. Is
really
a big one.
matters.
Yes, it does. All right, go ahead, hit play.
Burning pile of resentment dressed up as activism, fluffy progressive activism. Seeing something like this just, does it drive them nuts?
Last month, 58% said yes. That seems low to you and me, but whatever, it is what it is. That is the highest we've ever registered that since 2016, which I think is really interesting. The other thing that I think is really interesting about this poll is that the absolute lowest was in June 2022 at 39% of Americans said that they were proud to be American. And that was dead in the middle of the Biden presidency. And the whole point of Biden's campaign in 2020 was he said he was going to unify the country. What do those numbers tell you?
What they tell me is that when the Democrats get their way in terms of total policy, it's a disaster for America, and the American people recognize they don't want it. What it also says is that, if you look at some of these dates when Donald Trump was actually getting his agenda accomplished, people were happy with the country. And look what's happened the last 5.5 months. Inflation down, wages are steady, unemployment coming down, economy is growing. There's actually, obviously, Israel had to do what it needed to do, but you have a lot of countries in the Middle East who are saying, you know what, it was time to be in the business of being partners with Israel and the United States. Donald Trump has been bringing wins for the American people. And last but not least, the biggest thing overall, the border is secured. He promised he would do it. He did it. Look at recruitment in the military, record highs in every branch of the military under Donald Trump. So what it's telling me is that his policies, his common sense, his leadership is actually having the American people have more faith, not just in America today, but America going forward into the future.
And that's exactly why you've got the gender study majors on the streets chanting for Islamic jihad. That's why we have white left-wing moms in the suburbs talking about decolonization as they drink their $18 cold coffee. And that's why Zoran Mamdani is the perfect mascot for all of it, because he's basically the intersection. Oh, and actually, as I'm recording this video, this popped up on my timeline. Might as well add it to the video here. I mean, it fits perfectly everything we know about Zoran Mamdani, the silver spoon socialist. Well, he unironically tweeted this: the oligarchs who want us to return to work to goose the stock market are the same ones with thousands of luxury condos as investment properties sitting empty while New Yorkers die on the streets and in shelters. Seize these properties. House the homeless. Just openly advocating for the theft of people's property because supposedly people are dying on the streets. I think he's conflating the fentanyl crisis with something else entirely. But the funniest part of this tweet is just the opening statement. The oligarchs who want us to return to work. Who's us, Zoran? Who is us? You return to work? Maybe Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez could get away with this one, considering she actually had.
He's got a point here. He's just about to say what I was going to say. How do you go back to work when you've never worked?
Yep.
So I'm going to let him finish his sentence and we're almost done. But, dude, really? You're not that stupid. He's playing with his own words there at that point. He's trying to make it, I'm the relatable working class man. Bullshit. Your hands are so manicured. Ain't even funny.
Yep.
He's got probably softer and better hands and better nails than I do. Like, dude, come on. All right. Let me hit play to get through this last few moments.
Actually had a job, but this guy, we've yet to see any evidence that he's ever had to work a day in his life. I mean, yet again, another contradiction. And all of these contradictions, all of these concepts, these hypocrisies, well, they're essentially what the modern left has become. A freaking Frankenstein coalition of rich kids, radical extremists, identity-obsessed activists, and of course the boomer elitist hippies, who enable all of it because they're trying to live vicariously through these kids as if it's the 1970s again. A bunch of overly privileged troublemakers, offering the world little to no value. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on.
Yep. Pure insanity, what we are seeing out there. Pure insanity.
It's crazy.
I can't believe that, again, it's just so frustrating. I mean, I get the concept and the logic of how this came to be. I don't like it.
Again, it goes to the whole concept that I keep saying. This is the best that the city had to offer. There was nobody else that could possibly run. No different than the Fetterman effect, right? Fetterman and Oz. And in Oz,
it's not that there isn't anyone better, it's no one's willing.
Yeah, and Oz got the job in being in charge of Medicare. So he won still in a way, right? Because Trump appointed him there. So, again, I just don't understand. This is the best that they have to offer for one of the...
Evidently.
Yeah, for one of the country's largest cities.
Well, again, I don't think it's so much that they have to offer, it's who they have that's willing to try.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure there are far better people, but they're not willing to step into the ring because they know the stress and the chaos and the headache that would come with it. The scrutiny, the threats, the attacks, the everything.
Yeah.
I get why some people would be afraid to do it. I mean, we could send Art to New York to take over as mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's going to want to do it?
Well, maybe if we fund him.
And that's the other thing.
He'll just
all
take
these
the
people
money
have
and stay
money
at the hotel.
Yeah, all these people have money backing them. Most of the better people don't have the backing.
Or yeah, exactly. That's
So
that's the
again,
other complaint that I have for people that I think that maybe perhaps win in the primary rather than having to fundraise or whatever. The RNC and the DNC should be required to give them. I think there should be a set dollar amount. We've talked about this before. A set dollar amount that they get to use in advertising themselves in whatever fashion they want.
Yep.
Be it standing on a soapbox in a park, to mailers at your home, to somebody at a telephone bank, whatever. But
yeah, have people sitting in your house with their cell phones and start calling.
Right. I mean,
buy some burner phones.
If he has so much money that he has that support, but yet somebody like you or me that wanted to say run up against him, where would we even get a dime? Well, I might be able to scramble up a dime.
Oh, I
maybe
know.
even $1, but we could never compete with him.
And there's the thing. There is more people to offer. They just don't have the means or the ability.
Right. So how do you make we make this with term limits, with, so much funding? It just is, it just seems
how
like...
many politicians are going to agree to write a law to limit their time in power?
Oh, they're not. They're not.
There's a few, but they're the minority.
Mm-hmm.
The rest are like, you are out of your mind. Just like we need a raise. Of course they're going to give themselves raises.
Just like the we'll sign the we won't participate in stocks while we're in Congress. Okay.
Uh-huh.
It all sounds good. None of it gets done.
Yep. It's one giant shithole mess, and there ain't much we can actually do about it until we can fundamentally make changes. Good luck getting those fundamental changes in because Congress is not going to cut itself off at the knees.
No, they're not. Nope. Okay, what else does Art have to say? In the middle of
Uh-huh.
in the middle of the Biden years, we knew the guy was senile and the policies were woke. What was there to be proud of? I don't disagree
It,
with that, but they knew in the beginning that Biden was senile. That's why
I
he
called it from the
campaigned from the
beginning too.
basement. Yeah, that's why he campaigned from the basement. What's up next, Crazy B? Mama told me to stay out of the family business. LOL.
That was
Okay.
when we offered him up to go fix New York.
Oh, I see. Okay. And his last comment? I have the ability, but people wouldn't like what they dig up in my background. Bar fights, street racing, etc. Oh, I don't know. I disagree
I
with
think
that.
I would prefer you.
Yeah. Like he could, walk into a bar, slam somebody's head on a table. He could be in
Do
one
as
of the
I
cop cars.
said.
Couldn't you see him in one of the cop cars driving around, or on a motorcycle popping a wheelie, trying to get a criminal? I think that's a positive.
I would like
Uh-huh.
it. I would vote for you.
Yeah, so would I. I'd vote for
I would
Art
vote for
over.
you.
Yeah, I'd vote for Art over Mandami.
Yeah. It's a
Can
shame he's
we
on the
do it?
wrong coast.
Can we do a write-in?
Yeah, Art who visits Rex Sisters podcast routinely.
Yeah, there you
That'll be
go.
an easy one.
That'll work though.
um, you can nominate and vote for people, but they still have to accept it.
Right.
How
Well,
many politicians have declined? How many people have been in that position and declined?
yep. All right. What
Oh,
else do we have, Crazy B?
anywho's, we are done with Mamdani. We are on to an article. Well, not really an article, a summary of articles.
Okay, so yeah, these are some summaries. A judge briefly blocks immigrants' deportation to South Sudan after the Supreme Court actually cleared the way. So here we go again with federal judges doing what they want despite the Supreme Court saying, and
But I
this,
can also see their logic because Sudan would literally kill these people. They need to go to a third country.
well, that isn't what the Supreme Court said, and they're the Supremers, so here we go again with people not doing what they're told. Following a 4th of July hearing in Washington, a federal judge temporarily stopped the removal of 8 immigrants destined for conflict ridden South Sudan and transferred the case to a judge in Boston. The Supreme Court had green-lighted the immigrants removed the day before, but new claims by their lawyers prompted Judge Randolph Moss to pause the transfers temporarily. The administration had been trying to deport immigrants from Laos, Mexico, Myanmar, Vietnam, and other countries to South Sudan, despite none being South Sudanese, and the U.S. government warns against travel there due to civil war. Judge Moss temporarily prevented the administration from relocating the immigrants from, I don't know that,
Djibouti.
What to say it again?
No, it's just the D is silent, so it's Djibouti.
Djibouti. How do you know? How about Djibouti? Until his 4:30 p.m. hearing took place, stating that their new legal claims warranted consideration. The administration intended to proceed with their flight on Friday. This temporary halt and case reassignment suggest ongoing judicial scrutiny over deportations to a dangerous region, reflecting legal tensions despite the Supreme Court's approval of removal. So,
And this does make sense. Why, if we're not allowed to go visit people there as a tourist, why would we send other people there? I mean, common sense. If we're saying don't go there,
right.
human rights issues, send them
I
to a
don't,
different
yeah,
country.
I
I
don't,
skip
there's
Sudan.
many different, yeah, there's many countries, obviously, that probably they could be sent to. But if they were extremely bad criminals, I may be down for it. I don't know. I'd have to know who they were first. But uh, really, to
I
make
say just if it's
this,
a place like that, Trump should not be sending them there.
yeah, it's obvious. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the kind of shit that is so stupid. It's so
Well, if
obvious.
Trump would
It's
have
such
thought
a,
it through before saying send them to Sudan, if Trump had taken 1 second, wait, we don't let our people go visit Sudan. Maybe we shouldn't try sending these illegal immigrants there.
I don't think he was the one that made the decision to send them there,
Well,
though.
whoever
Right.
did it needed to think their shit through.
And obviously they didn't. And that's the thing that's not said, who did it.
This wouldn't be happening if they had taken 3 seconds to use some logic.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, it should have been obvious. Any country that, is gonna, is killing civilians, we're not gonna send these people to. Duh. Okay.
Oh, hold on. Art says they're deporting them from there because it deters people from resisting deportation to their home country. I get it,
Oh,
but don't agree with it.
oh, that's a good take on it too.
But if they didn't want the courts getting involved in all this headache, just send them somewhere safe. Send
Well,
them to a third party safe place.
when the Supreme Court says it's okay, other courts don't really
I don't think the
supposedly get
Supreme
to have a say.
Well, yeah, but if the Supreme Court wasn't paying attention to it, because the initial one didn't say you
Mm,
can't deport them to these places, they wanted to stop the deportations, period. They didn't have a complaint about the locations. This one is more specific, hence a whole new case for the Supreme Court to think about.
mm, I don't know. I don't know what was presented to them, what was not, so I can't lay claim to any of it. All I know is based on the articles, what it said was the Supreme Court approved it. So
Well,
technically, yes.
the temporary. Mhm.
Well, technically, then they should be deported based on.
Yeah, it's just sending them somewhere other than South Sudan.
Uh, mm,
Again,
You're not getting into this again. What's next? What's
uh,
next?
next is the Wall Street Apes, our long post with a brief video that I didn't know there was a video to, otherwise I would have downloaded.
That's
So
okay.
we'll see how playing it goes. Oh
Okay.
no, the audio won't come through, so I can't play
Right.
it. The audio won't. So oh
This is
well, y'all can go check it out.
this is why Democrats can legally go into Congress and every word that comes out of their mouth be a lie. Representative Tom Massey exposes Congress can legally lie to us. I can tell every lie I want and nobody can do anything about it. There's something in the Constitution called the speech or debate clause. And so I can go to the floor of the House of Representatives and lie. I can tell every lie I want, and nobody can do anything about it. And it's called the speech or debate clause. Our staff, yeah, look this up. The speech or debate clause found in Article 1, Section 6 of the U.S. Constitution, protects members of Congress from being questioned in any other place for their speech or debate in either house. So let me read it again. Protects members of Congress from being questioned in any other place which means you can't be questioned in a courtroom. You can't be sued. This clause, rooted in historical struggles for parliamentary independence, aims to safeguard the independence and integrity of the legislative branch by preventing interference from the executive or judicial branches. So when people, even our founders, this is a hard pill to swallow. He explains more about this insane law. And that, I
Yeah.
believe,
Which
is
is the video
which
y'all
is
will
in the
have to go
video.
watch.
Yeah, you'll have to watch. I find that I didn't know about that clause. And that is
But that's where impeachments come in handy. You can impeach and punish senators, but and representatives, but it has to be done by the body of their peers. It cannot be from an outside.
yeah. And how
Um,
often does that happen?
Rarely. Art
Right.
adds in, as long as they can say it on the floor of the House or the Senate, they are exempt from defamation. That does not apply to other places, but I don't think it has been litigated. So they can't go out and say this necessarily in public, but they can say it on the floor. So when they say it in public, that negates it, and then
So,
yeah,
but
I don't know how
the
this
only
works.
thing is then another rep could do a rebuttal. Is that correct?
Hmm. The
You know,
opposing
if you when you get up
members
there and
can
tell all the
rebuttal it.
lies, when you get up there and tell all the lies that you have to say every day, can I go up the next day and rebut everything that you said? And say, "Oh,
Well,
she
yeah,
said."
heck, even in the same day, if there's time, they'll let you
Mm-hmm.
rebuttal. Yes, and then
So,
it's up to
and
everyone else to
again,
figure it out.
right, and then again, it turns into he said, she said, who's really right, who's going to really look into it, to see who's telling the truth, who, is watching, did I catch what you said and then I fell off the face of the earth, and then it just is a mess. I mean, I don't understand, again,
I
how
get
they
it.
can
I
get up
get where you're
there and
coming
lie.
from.
Yep. But,
They can get up there and lie
mm-hmm.
because there is a law that allows them to.
Yes, ma'am. So now, not only do they lie in general, they're lying when they get up there and do when they speak. Do you even believe now? It's like,
Hmm.
maybe I believed you, but now I'm going to be questioning everything that comes out of your mouth.
If you weren't questioning politicians to begin with, what the
Right.
heck?
Exactly. I wouldn't disagree with that comment either. All right.
Like,
Keep it moving, girl. Let's go. What's next?
I thought this would take the last of it. Hold on, we got more.
I know we got
Uh,
more.
it's another video, and
How
then
long?
another video.
Do we have any
Probably 7, 8
shorts?
minutes.
Do we have any
It,
shorts?
just one. Hold on, I'm looking for it.
While you're doing that, I'll read what Art says. As long as they say it on the floor. Oh, we read that. The House or the
Yeah.
Senate may be able to censure members for what they say on the floor, but good luck with that. Yeah, I think that, yeah, I'm trying to think. Didn't they try to censure Ilhan Omar
Possibly.
for some of her comments that she made? I think they tried to. I want to say, and they were successful on one of them. We'd have to look it up.
I found the video.
Okay, hit it.
All right, let
This will be
me.
our last thing for this Friday evening.
Well, give me a second.
1001 time
This
up.
felt more
Here we go. Go ahead.
Nothing. Go ahead.
real than anything I've seen on mainstream networks in years.
A new report from
What? Oh
Reuters
my
today
God.
found that every single living president is a descendant of slave owners, except for one, and it's not Barack Obama. Turns out Donald Trump is the one who didn't actually have ancestors that owned slaves.
That is nice to know.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting little fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
And it also is hard to believe that every other president is a descendant from somebody that was a slave owner. That's kind of mind-boggling when you think about
Uh-huh.
it.
Well, look at how extensive slavery has been around the world.
Mm-hmm. And still is.
They've been a descendant of someone who has owned slaves.
Correct.
I don't know how far back they're going generation-wise, but yeah, fundamentally. And
Yes.
I'd love to see where their information is. Like, show me where you got all this, source it. But, they'll never do that. So it's pretty much unsubstantiated. We have to take their word for it. But yeah, I mean, unless somebody else wants to go doing the digging and the genealogy
I think
report.
I know some chick that's, I don't know, I think she has a podcast called Questions That Need Answers. I think this would be a good project for
Yeah. Do
her.
you know how much time and money that would cost? Do you know how
Mm-hmm.
much time and money that would cost?
You know some people
I
that know
don't believe it.
people.
I think we're defying dependent loosely here. Defining. Oh, my bad.
Well,
Yeah.
just like to show some things, that we come across. And with
Oh,
that,
yeah. Always.
yes, it is 4:56, and we are somewhat early on ending this live. But as a reminder, please like, follow, comment, share, and subscribe. And we are not seeing people do so. And we would like to know why not.
Leave us a comment as to why you don't want to follow or why you don't like.
Yeah.
Please.
And send it in a DM if you
I
want
can
to,
tell you it's probably that we're sane.
you could send it to us in a DM in the Discord. But you're listening and you're watching, but yet you're not giving us that thumbs up. And I'd like to know why not. When we have up to, at times, 1,800 viewers and we have like 4 likes.
Mm-hmm.
Could somebody please explain to me how that makes sense? It does not help.
Magic.
Yeah, it does not help us get our head above water. I'm on the bottom, Crazy Beast standing on my shoulders, and we're trying to get up there. So we really need help and support. I've yet to start begging for money. That's next. We have not, since we started the podcast, not one person has donated, not even $1, not $1.
Mm-hmm.
And Crazy Bee doesn't like to ask for money, but I will. I've explained, we're $500 in the hole on just getting the studio and having some support systems. And the hours of and time that we put, both of us invest into doing the podcast, is tremendous. And
don't get me started on what I put in on editing. Holy
correct.
cow.
And we really don't want to take on sponsors. We don't want to have commercials. We don't want to be trying to sell you products. We don't want to be, doing any of that. We're trying to remain independent, but it's very surprising of the lack of support that we're getting. And, to be honest, if we don't see the numbers increasing in both volume as well as our likes and follows and subscribes and that, you know, we might have to consider, or is this worth doing? I mean, we both think it is, but apparently you guys don't. So we'd like to know what it is you'd like to see us do differently. You know, any comments that you have to make, either put them in the comments or send it directly to one of us in a DM, or leave it just up in the Rex Sisters DM on the Discord. But we really need your help. It takes a lot of
It
time.
would make life easier.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time to pull this off. And we spend Crazy B spends hours on the tech end and editing end, and I spend all my time doing nothing but researching bull crap. And maybe you don't like what we're producing, or you don't like the content. If that's the case, you need to let us know. But we're pulling in some decent numbers. But along with those decent numbers, we should be seeing some additional likes, and we should be seeing a little bit of monetary support. So, a dollar, and I explained, I think before, if we make a dollar, and all Rumble wants to do is give us $1 for every 100 views we get. Plus, they take 30% of that dollar Rumble keeps. So that means we made 70 cents between the two of us. So Crazy B gets
Well, that's
35
if they donate
cents.
through Rumble. They could donate through Cash App or
Right.
something, which wouldn't be
Correct.
taken from Rumble.
Correct. And that's what I was getting at. They could do that, which I will hopefully have that fixed by this weekend.
Well, the Cash
So,
App has been up. It's been
right.
good. It just isn't connected to the bank.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I have, Crazy B. That's what I needed. I have that sitting right here. But we have other forms too of being able to donate as well, other than just Cash App. So
I know it was messed up, but I think Venmo was good.
yes.
But the
So
PayPal needed some work. I can
yeah.
show the things here. There. Just skip PayPal for the moment. But Cash App and Venmo are good.
Mm-hmm. And again, I don't want to have to beg people for money, but if I have to come on, once or twice a week, I'm going to, and you're going to hear my sad sob story, and it won't be at the end. You don't never know when I just might pop up with begging for money. But as I said, we're trying to make a go of this as best we can, and we think we have a good product. And so, we both would like to continue it. And really, the biggest thing is the likes and the follows. And that's where we're not
Uh-huh.
seeing the numbers. So please.
If when we get the likes and the follows, we can start getting ad revenue and we won't have to beg you as much.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just
So,
saying.
yep. So please give us a thumbs up, give us a follow, share the video if you'd like to, especially on fight nights. And subscribe. Make sure you set the
All that
notification
good
bell.
stuff.
Yep, all that good stuff so you don't miss us. Don't forget we're going to be on vacation. When are we going on vacation? We're off.
Ah.
I don't know. What day is it? Hold on, because it's coming up.
I think it's this coming week.
No, it's next week, isn't it? Is it? Hold on. Hold on. Let me get my calendar. Do 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 do. It is No, I think we have. No, we have not next week. It's the following week. So we will be off July 21st through July 25th, coming back on July 28th. Wow, it's hard to believe July's flying by. You know that? It's going by way too quick.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, and when we get back, it's going to be on, man. Because that's when baby JJ meets mean Nene is putting the hammer down. So, we don't know what 3 to
Yeah,
5
at
gonna.
almost 4 months old, he needs to start
Yeah.
behaving like an actual 4-month-old.
We do not know what we're going to be in for beginning Tuesday the 29th. You guys have no idea. So maybe get some ear get your earbuds in and your headphones on to listen to the. Well, either way, you're going to hear him scream. So what does it matter?
Just turn your volume down a little.
Yeah.
Protect your hearing if you can.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway, everybody have a good weekend. It's supposed to. What's it going to do this weekend again, Crazy Bee? It's going to what? Thunderstorm.
In our area.
It is or isn't?
I believe in our area it is.
It's going
in
to
our
in
region.
mine. Yep. Why not? Because Marjorie Taylor Greene is messing with the weather so she can get her bill passed.
I say that jokingly and it comes back to bite me.
No, it's probably the truth. You know? They say
All
everybody's
right.
corrupt one way or
True.
another. All right. So have a good one, everybody. Oh, I'm on low battery mode, so I'm done for the day.
All right. Y'all stay safe, stay sane, stay sober, and we will catch you on the next day, whatever it is, probably Tuesday.
Tuesday, the next Tuesday. Have a good night.
Good night.